Yeah, he didn't have the time this time, but the good thing is he was worried a little bit, I know, before he heard the material. He was not sure. But it's like when he heard the songs that he had written, basically, he was relieved because he was very busy with finishing the Gamma Ray record, which was very heavily delayed. They wanted to be done more than a year earlier.
A year earlier, exactly, but they had everything in the way, with DVD and so forth.
The burning.
To me, it's good to see that it also works like that. Mm-hmm. And even Kai thinks it's better the second one than the first one. And can you imagine what happens with the third one if Kai gives 100% again?
This time we'll strap him to a box.
That record will come out.
Let him go on tour and
it'll sell 10 millions
in my city alone.
Headline all festivals.
Which only has 50,000 people.
Iron Maiden is going to support us.
Yeah, and be our road crew. Well, first of all, we love art. We love, all of us love visuals.
What? And work.
I don't know. Anyway, well, how did the concept come out? The concept was actually, the whole beginning of it was Costa screaming steampunk.
Yep.
He is a fan of steampunk. And I was not even originally aware what steampunk was.
I still don't know what it is.
It's this art form that we have on the record.
Okay.
And I wasn't aware that it was a thing, it was a community, it exists, and it's a big deal for many years. I just remember that I thought it was Sherlock Holmes was a cool movie until I understood, oh, that is steampunk. Okay, now I get it. By the way, Sherlock Holmes is steampunk.
Is it?
It is now. So, he came up with this idea of doing something like that, and I was like, whatever, yeah, shoot it at me. He showed me this cool computer made in wood and brass in the steampunk type of style, a keyboard and brass keys and a wooden computer screen, and I thought, well, that's really, really cool, but what I don't get it. What are you trying to tell me? Then he showed me other pictures of rocket ships made of wood and stuff like this, and then we came to the idea,
Unisonic U.
Unisonic U. How cool would that be to make this into a spaceship?
You've seen the cover.
Yeah.
So we've got this U as a spaceship, and then he had this whole idea going on to it. Okay, now the spaceship's got to be held up by balloons and it's steam powered.
But I think that's steampunk, isn't it? It's also like, it's not really technology that you would connect with a spaceship. It's like mechanical kind of thing. Steam coming out. And it makes no sense in terms of physics. I mean, the balloons, they're not making any sense in space.
Why not?
They were just dangling around, and it would.
So you mean our spaceship's not really going to work?
It's not working. We'll have to redesign it.
Fuck's sake!
But that's the thing. It's just art. It's just an art form. It just looks good.
Oh, I thought we were really going to go to space.
It was one of the things that you said it, Costa said it, and I said the same thing. You can ask Kai. We were in a train back from the photo session we did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And we got this cover by mail, and I had it on my iPad. It was like, it was the first time that I liked the cover.
Absolutely.
Right from the start.
Absolutely.
That's cool. It looks so cool.
Me too. In my career, the first time in my career I went, wow, okay, I would buy that just because of the way it looks. I want a poster of this in my room.
It's the first time. Usually you have something you don't like. Yeah, it's not that, but how about this and that?
Yeah, you've got ideas right away.
We had a different designer up front. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but we didn't like any of the stuff. It was well, maybe we should take someone else.
Maybe we should photograph my shoe or something.
No, the guy is good. He did the first one too. He did the video we did, and he'll do the next video too. He's a good guy.
Martin Huizen, very, very good guy. Why are you always pointing at me? What did I do?
You wrote it.
So, Google it. No. Night of the Long Knives is a theme and the title of a incident that happened around 1938.
Yeah.
Based on Hitler's regime. And it was a night where he basically got rid of all his adversaries within his own system. Be it the brown coats, the Nazi, Stasi, whoever was in his way or he thought to be in his way or against him in one night. And I thought it was an amazing thing because not only for him to be able to do it, but that he was able to brainwash enough of his intelligent henchmen to do his dirty work for him and so quickly. and so effectively. And I had seen this in YouTube. I'm a documentary fan, and I'm often on YouTube looking at things. I like science and history. And before I watch some idiotic TV show about some people living in an apartment, I'll go to YouTube and watch a documentary. So I happened to stumble upon this documentary about Night of the Long Knives, which I had no idea about it. I read a lot, but I didn't realize that was a big deal. And I watched the movie and realized that Night of the Long Knives fit perfectly to a song that we had.
What was it called before that?
I can't remember. Something with Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Something with Scarecrow. And it was like, wow, this fits too good. This is too good to be true. And the whole vibe of the song, and I was like, and I tried it, and I wrote Costa and Michael the next day, said, I got this idea. But it's about this.
I told him, you gotta be careful. I mean, you're an American.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
You can do it. I'll always go like this, but it's like, it is actually important to deal with these things because
it's a part of history. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to believe. I mean, I was born 86, when Elvis had his TV special comeback.
86?
Sorry, 68.
How old am I?
When Elvis had his TV special comeback, it's like, to me, all this Nazi stuff is just as weird as to anyone else. I watch it on movies or stuff like that, and it's really scary what people are able to do when they're enough brainwashed and emotionally kind of switched off. Mm-hmm. This human side, which is a very sensitive side in us, if that gets turned off, hell on earth breaks loose. And it's not only happened there, it happened, if you look at the 14th century in France, for instance, it's like with Jeanne d'Arc, I love Jeanne d'Arc, it's like the time. It's like people were starving to death. There was brutality, unbelievably. Stuff, and even nowadays, things like that happen everywhere in the world where you just create an environment where no humanity can live. And then there's the evilest stuff coming out of us, and it's important to deal with these things and try to understand it and try to see where it starts. Because where fascism starts? Everybody who talks about fascism always has a political kind of concept in his head. Fascism starts when I don't respect your free will. That's where fascism starts. You have to respect everybody's free will for as long as that person respects mine.
Right, now shut up and give me a drink.
That line has to, I think that the free will of an individual is a sacred thing. It has to be, it should never be touched. Nobody has a right to force anyone to do anything. And that's where it starts.
And the lyric is really just about the story. It was an informative story. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed writing about it. I thought it was something cool. It fit to the vibe of the song. And I'm a fan. We actually write stories. We like writing stories. I think it's entertaining, When I read my son a book, it's a story, not about mathematical equations to physics. It's a nice story, If I started doing that, I'd be actually kind of happy.
Most of the stuff. I wrote 3 songs, 2 went on the album, 1 will be a bonus track. Manny wrote 1 song that is a bonus track, and 1 co-written, right? On the album. The rest is all just him. I mean, he had a great
This is my solo album.
This is really a solo record. He had like a great creative output. Of course, it's like everybody has his input, everybody has his ideas. Kai has ideas here and there, but like this time, without Dennis, he wouldn't have this record.
It's the thing is, we all write individually, and we look for the best songs when somebody writes individually. I'm a lazy writer, and I don't like to go too far. That means I'll make a demo of a basic verse, bridge, chorus, or just
lazy
whatever.
writer. Within a half year, he writes a whole record, but he's a lazy writer.
Yeah, but I write quickly, and here, what do you think? You like it? Okay, then I'll keep it on the side. If you don't like it, it's in the garbage.
That's one of the things that I envy you. He said he's not. If you don't like something that he does, he's not hurt.
I just throw it away.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Next.
When I like a song and somebody bitches about it, it hurts me. It's like,
well, I don't waste time.
It's my baby.
Yes, he's not like that.
I can't waste my time with this.
Do another one.
So once it's done, we're like, okay, that's got something. Then we go to the rehearsal room. Then we bang out ideas together. We try this. I got this idea. What about that? I don't like that. It's too fast. It's too slow. It's too stupid. And then we start changing stuff.
And it works great.
And then it works great. And then we finalize the songs. And we actually finalized the songs in 2 studio sessions and a completeness of 6 days. That's unheard of. I've never done it this fast.
Absolutely amazing. That's a good sign.
Yes.
It shows that there's a good creative energy.
Absolutely.
This second record was so much easier than the first one. The first one was a lot of work, and it just took forever, and this one just there.
What we've got here
I think we're just more there. We're just more aware of who we are.
We know what we
each
want.
other.
Yeah.
Is that the good thing is we are very different. I'm not like him, you know. I'm not like Kai. We all Costa is a different
Hairstyles
world.
are almost identical. I know we look like twins.
But it's like mainly yeah,
we
you
get
gotta give me
confused
a
every
week
day
back.
with each other.
But the thing
No, I
is,
don't.
even though we are very different and have different tastes, we are grown up enough that we can communicate and throw things around. And it's actually, if you can deal with each other, it's a good thing that people have such different views. Kai comes up with ideas I would never come up with.
Absolutely. I have to give him always credit. He comes up with stuff I would never in years imagine. I would try it and go, well, that's actually very cool. And I would never cross my mind.
And it's not always easy, because sometimes I just don't get it, or vice versa. You know, it's just, I don't know. And then we just ask around, how's everybody else thinking about it? And if 3 out of 5 say it's cool,
then it's good enough for us. Let's do it.
I did that because I didn't want to spend the money I got from the record company. I wanted to use it for the production. I did it just for 2 weeks. Basically, it was just sports. You know, it's like I was always okay financially for some reason. It was always there.
With the Keeper Records.
Yeah, everything. It's like even though with new records, I always had people investing. You know, and I was basically living in books during that time. It was. I'm not bold. There's hair everywhere, but here it got a little thin, and I thought it looked stupid. So I'm not the kind of guy who starts wearing wigs or things like that.
He's got a good shape for it too.
So I look better with hair. I know, but it's just the way it is. You know, you gotta live.
I don't know if I can agree with that. I actually think it looks pretty damn cool.
Okay, you're used to it now.
I got a funny shaped head. I've tried with a plastic wig, a rubber wig. See what my head would look like? You can do this? No.
You get used to it after a while. So I cut it off. I started with short. My sister, like your.
I did it too, man. I had it like
They
this.
know how to cut hair, and she was cutting my hair. But it was just every 2 weeks you have to go and cut your hair.
Yep. I can. Yep.
When
I
you
can
have
go
long
for that.
hair, like in metal, you can let it grow,
Yeah.
and it's fine. You do it maybe like every 6 months or whatever.
I had hair like his for a long time, and it pissed
But when
me
you
off.
have that
you have
kind of
to
length,
put shit in your hair all the time. Have to cut it every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then I have hair that's very thick.
Yeah.
And if I don't do this, my hair looks like this. I look like a porcupine.
and I was just getting bored of having to go to my sister every second week and get a haircut. So I was taking it off, and since then my life has become a lot easier.
And maybe some people didn't recognize you at first when you cut your hair.
It was actually
I guess.
that was actually great because like everybody knew me from the 80s when I had this long hair, and I was like in the 90s. I was able to walk through Hamburg and nobody recognizes me because they didn't know what I would look like. But since I'm with Avantasia and stuff, and people know what I look like, it happens again. That they
Sure.
recognize me, yeah.
So let your hair grow again so
That would be an
they won't recognize you.
I thought he should wear a yellow wig like that Smurfette.
Use your mind. You will leave the flash dimensions behind.
Let me explain it like this. I'm a bass player. Being a bass player is probably the single most boring part of rock music, period, right?
Not if you play well.
No, you just sit around, you go boom, boom, boom 2 or 3 times, and then you do nothing. And it gets boring. So when I started producing, it was actually to fill my time of boredom because I had so much free time. And then it became, for me, supported my living, so I could exist. My complete existence is now making productions. When it comes to like Pink Cream or Unisonic, we just make plans and schedules so that it doesn't get in the way of each other. It's no big deal. I think the same for Michael. He's doing Avantasia. And
I could be fine financially with just Unisonic and Avantasia. It's not really a financial thing, but it's like I started a couple of things before Unisonic, like Klaas van Dome, some of those stuff like that. Because when you're not in a band,
we do stuff.
you do projects here and there, and I didn't overdo it like for a number of years. like for almost 17 years, it was like 4 years in between. I did a record or something like that. So now I kind of feel like doing more. But it's like I started a whole bunch of things that I just kept on doing. I actually did the last Place Vendôme, to be honest with you, just to get out of a contract for another solo record, because I didn't want to do another solo record for Frontiers. I'm working with a good friend of mine on songs and stuff. It's going to be very different, but I did not want it to be released on Frontiers, because they just don't do anything for stuff like that. They just put it out there and that's it. Frontiers are good for certain things. You know, they're good if you want to do an AOR record, or you do something like Kiske Somerville. They're professional, you know, they stick to their words and stuff like that. It's a good label, you know, but it's like, if I do something besides Unisonic that means something to me, I want it on a label that it cares to do something with it, and that'll be ear music. So I gave him a third Place Vendôme to have actually be out of the contract. Like it has a strong social effect, not only on the music industry, not only for musicians, but also for people in record companies, record stores, publishing companies. It has like
stores are basically gone.
Whole lot of people. It creates a social disasters.
That too, yeah. It is a fluke.
And everybody who does, I know that a lot of young people don't like to think about it, but it's like if you work on a job, you want to get paid at the end of the month too. How would they feel if they work and then nobody pays you, because they can steal your work? You know, it's just not the right way of doing it. I must say that it's also a bit the musicians' fault to a certain extent, because of all this richness nonsense. There's a lot of musicians, especially American musicians, they love to, even if they're completely poor and broke, they like to come across as rich, you know, because they believe if you are coming across as a very successful person, people might buy your record because, you're successful, so you must be good. This is kind of the psychological thing. So it's like, musicians don't make as much money as people think.
Yeah.
It's a lot more image, it's a lot more make-believe and stuff like that. And that's part of the problem. Some people have cheap excuses because they're all rich anyway.
Yeah.
As soon as you go into the charts or you get a golden record, they think that you're a millionaire. But that's not the case. You know, it's like, so it's a bit of, that's where the musicians' fault is to it. Of course, the record companies did a lot of things wrong for a number of years, you know.
For a number of years, but the world has changed and we got to adapt. We're aware of this. We know that if we want to sell records, you got to do other things, but that's when the live market is kind of booming. But the other fact is you can make a record in your cellar. And
I think it's a moral question. I think the bands should build on a relationship with their audiences, you know, and you shouldn't have laws. You shouldn't throw people in jail. It shouldn't be criminal. It shouldn't be a criminal thing, even though it is. I don't believe in these kind of things. I think people have to want to support bands. People have to want to buy CDs. That's the only way. So make it attractive. Make good records, of course, but also make it an interesting package with interesting stuff in it or whatever. But I think it really is a moral question of the audiences that they have to want to support CDs. It's the only way it's going to change, and I believe it can.
Not that I know of yet. So far, festival-wise, we have nothing. On the tour is also nothing, unfortunately. However, for 2015, we're considering doing if things go well, a headliner tour ourselves, and we would try to get the majority of the grosser part of Europe as a headliner.
Again, that'll also depend on record sales. It's always like that. That's how they. On one hand, it's the promoters who have an idea what could work or whatnot, and then they make you an offer. That's how usually a tour starts. But if you have like good record sales in a country, it also brings the promoter to the idea of bringing.
That's part of the support thing we were talking about.
But in October, Edguy is playing in Paris, so if you're available...
But I think we're not doing that one. We do a few shows in Germany, and we do like both headliners in Japan, because we sell a bit more records in Japan than Edguy do. So that's why we're both equal. Like we probably play second, but we have the same time.
Yeah.
Everybody does the same, you know.
Places to play.
I love South America.
Yeah.
South America is always mind-blowing. I mean, They're beautiful people. I mean, it's difficult countries. You know, there's a lot of criminal things happening, but they're just so passionate. They're just so pure. It's a bit. The metal scene is a bit like that almost everywhere. You know, it's a very pure kind of heart-driven audience, which is beautiful. But in South America, they don't have that much. And for them, this music is like a religion. You know, and it's like you can't imagine what kind of energy comes across.
Very, very good there.
And there are a few countries like that, but South America will always be very exceptional. It is awesome, and I haven't been there before Avantasia. It's like in the Halloween days, we didn't play there. It was not a place to go because there was no organization. You just lost money. That was it. Even now, you don't make money there. You just do it, but it's possible to pull it off. You know.
The second one.
A little bit. I mean, we have
it always there in reserve. However, we will focus on Unisonic more. We have to be honest, in the past, especially when it came to doing like longer than 60-minute shows, we had no choice. We had
just one record.
We had to fill it up. We didn't want to play Las Vendôme or Cream or whatever. So the obvious option, because of Kai and Michael, was to do the Halloween songs. And we'll always have one or two in reserve, but we will concentrate more on Unisonic.
Yeah, but we would also be stupid if we wouldn't take advantage of it. I mean, it's like, look at it. I mean, Kai wrote the songs.
Absolutely.
I sang it. When we play it, I mean, I don't want to sound stupid, but to a certain extent, it sounds more like Halloween than nowadays Halloween. You know, I mean, if you look at that time. So I think we have the rights to do it. So I think like one or two songs will always be there. You know?
Like I Won Out or A Little Time. Stuff.
Maybe all March of Time or whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes you seem to have some trouble to remember some lyrics.
I always do.
And that's funny.
I don't know what it is. It's like I'm the new lyrics. You'll see even when we rehearse. I'll already have to read it from. I don't know what it is.
I'm the same. I still to this day.
Get it in my head. It's weird.
I'm the same.
I know pretty much all Elvis songs, but
some people just have a talent for it. Then there's us.
The older I get, the harder I can remember. It has to be connected with the melody. Maybe I have to put them away earlier.
We need teleprompters because we're getting old.
No, I think I look too much at it. I think I have to put them away.
Absolutely, this helps. Yes.
It has to come kind of naturally.
Absolutely. This is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. When I look at it, I can't remember it as well as I can when I'm forced to remember it.
Much of time, I think I got it there, but sometimes life, it happens that you're lost sound-wise. And you don't know where the band is. And then you just stop singing so you can hear, oh, there they are, okay. And it seems like I forgot the lyrics, but sometimes I just forgot where I am, you know. I'm practicing Take Hold of the Flame for Queensryche because it's like it trains the higher kind of stuff. It sounds different. I sent you a version. He loves Queensryche, and Take Hold of the Flame is very demanding vocal wise. That's why I'm training to. And Run to the Hills is an amazing song. That's why I got a Maiden fan because of that song. It was in the charts. It was in the charts with in 90. When was number of the beast? Number I think it was 82.
83, no?
83.
Yeah.
83.
I know that I just got into that type of music, and I turned on the radio and it was Run to the Hills. I was just blown away by the energy. You know? Like,
so would you sing the chorus quickly?
No, you can't sing that quickly. You have to be warm.
You need another mojito.
No, you need to be warming up because it's really high. You know, it's like,
that's true. That's very, very high.
It's one of the things with me is
you can sing the Elvis version, though.
Elvis versions work. Yeah, I have to warm up a lot. And actually, Dickinson pulls it off so good these days. I mean, we toured with them. Around the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son album, Halloween, and it was amazing. I love the guys. It's just great people. But he had difficulties in those days. He was struggling, and it's all gone. He kind of sat down, and what has changed? Because when you get old, the voice changes, and you have to adjust to it. It's not that you can't do it anymore. You just have to figure out how to do it now. It's like when your body changes, you might still be able to run, but you have to train a little bit to be able to do it. And I think he did that. I didn't hear him sing back since like I think Rock in Rio for the DVD. He pulls it off, and I'm so happy, to hear him sing like that. He's American, but he also speaks like a mixture of German and
I
English.
speak Dinglish.
He speaks Dinglish, and sometimes he says it's really cold here, and it's really cult here, cult. And then he speaks German and English mixed.
So,
I saw.
but you know who the cult?
And you were also touching yourself like that, as if you are cold.
Oh, this is cold. No, that's for you cold.
Yeah,
I have hair, by the way.
Yeah.
But you do not.
Me too, but now.
So, where are we?